Hi, this is Nick. Welcome to Nick's Fix. Hari ini saya nak cuba bercakap tentang tajuk Kedah Tua, dan the chosen topic for this issue is ada apa dengan Kedah Tua. Saya ada 3 poin yang saya akan cuba sampaikan hari ini. Pertama adalah kurang publicity. Kedua, tidak inklusif. Dan ketiga, macam politik K-drama seguk. Okay. First of all, I'm just a layman, bukan ahli sejarah, hanya pemerhati, dan recently my interest in history peak. Walaupun recently itu bukanlah sehari dua, it built up. Namun for all, it doesn't qualify me lah sangat kan. Tapi dalam dunia social media, social platform ni yang menyediakan ruang, and since I feel that topik ataupun isu ni dekat di hati, so I'm gonna just flung it forward lah. Moga-moga maybe kalau ada orang yang rasa the same way, they can propose something, Ada setengah kata daripada bercakap je, lebih baik buat something, So, tapi kalau semua diam, I'm not disqualifying orang yang buat kerja. There are lots of it, but I guess the problem is that ramai orang tak tahu. So there is the first point, kurang publicity. Kurang publicity ni banyak aspek dan banyak angle dia, sebab on the first impression, apa yang tak cukup lagi? Sebab dalam paper, dalam TV, even channel News Asia yang katanya di backup oleh CCP, China pun cover Kedah Tua or Lembah Bujang, as they say, recently, very recently. Jadi apa yang tak cukup? For me, one of the most glaring impression, apa yang saya dapat simpulkan daripada kesemua publicity coverage yang digather tu, not all, tapi there is this nagging tau, macam satu kesimpulan yang mudah. For me, daripada observer, adalah ia nampak bukan simplistic, bukan tangkap muat, bukan cukup-cukup, tapi it's almost like that. It's like almost macam word by word of the press release ataupun apa yang diberi kepada major editorial, which is not wrong. They have done their due diligence. I mean, not due diligence, orang kata, they have done their job, their responsibility kepada negara, kepada pembaca, kepada editorial commitment mereka. But for me, yang one more, bukannya I tak bersyukur, from time to time ada je. So the point is that bukan the papers ataupun main TV outlets, TV papers tak pernah ataupun tidak langsung, but I feel there is this scarcity, macam tak cukup. Tak naklah macam point out that macam artikelnya terlampau pendek. So from my point, kalau dari segi PR-nya, macam tak cukup cerita. That's why, when I had the chance untuk berjumpa, I got to know that Prof. Dr. Mohtar Saidin berkenan turun somewhere near Kelana Jaya for an outdoor fair. I think it was to coincide dengan promotion Kedah Eco Park, ecotourism, that sort of thing. So dengan segala macam mak nenek IKEA related outdoor companies and brands lah, bukan IKEA lah. IKEA ada ke? I think apa saja brand ataupun company yang related yang nak jual barang-barang outdoor, and then there was also gerai jualan, that sort of thing, tapi mainly that lah. So I went there, dapat tahu last minute. So yeah, there was, it's a small stage, and but you know, the feeling of nak berjumpa dengan the person behind it, you know, behind it all. But there is that thing, you say never meet your hero, but it's not really a negative thing. It's just orang kata maybe it was my question, maybe it was like how I word it, you know, kita terlampau excited, and then maybe the context, and I think that maybe some of the answers tu tak sesuai ke. My question was, you know, pasal yalah, I pun dengar saja bila baca some admin of a page related to Sungai Batu kata jumpa batu yang ada 3 garis macam dicolek ataupun cakaran ke. Maybe it's just animal yang buat tu, but by then I got this, you know, theory kalau dibuat manusia, doesn't it bear resemblance, persamaan dengan teori yang dibawa legenda Greek kuno purba untuk ward off evil ataupun menjauhi benda-benda tak baik. Tapi even then, bila tengok Google ke Wikipedia, benda yang Greek guna untuk avoid evil bukan benda Allah tu, benda yang macam pengakap tu kan, kalau dalam filem Hunger Games semua ada, bukan. Dia lebih kepada tunjuk macam bentuk mata. So because my source, ini pun satu contention, my source was siri buku Young Adult Percy Jackson yang ditulis oleh Rick Riordan. Selalunya Rick Riordan ni, dia akan ambil cerita-cerita legenda mitos daripada Greek dan Roman later lah after that. So dalam cerita first few series of Percy Jackson dengan kawan-kawan dia tu, Grover dengan Annabeth Chase tu, Annabeth Chase perkenalkan tentang hand sign yang macam pengakap tu, katanya untuk ward off evil. So I thought, you know, that time I tak tahu yang, I mean people know pasal hand sign tu, you know, even Myanmar junta apa guna, tapi kalau even on web pun ada from Reddit ke Quora cakap dia pun cuba cari makna sebenar atau kaitannya tapi tak ada. So adakah Rick Riordan ambil tu daripada pengakap untuk just cerita kan, because at the end of the day it's just fiction, cerita rekaan yang mengambil unsur-unsur mitos Greek, Yunani dan Roman. So I didn't know any better, so I tanya kepada Prof dan juga moderator tu, mungkinkah 3 quiz, 3 parallel lines tu maybe ada kaitan dengan Greek kuno, Greek purba, that sort of thing. It's not really a question, I don't know. And then the second one is dengan tanpa segan silunya, I cakap kekurangan topik, cerita baru. I think there needs to be more content. I don't really get the answers ke apa sangat for that, but now looking back, I rasa macam I got to know, bukan dapat tahu lah, some people wrote bahawa dananya terhad because back in zaman Pak Lah, that's more than 10 20 years ago, zaman Pak Lah, tu sekali one off 15 million untuk start the excavation is it? Archaeological project lah for Sungai Batu yang tu. So duit tu lah yang guna untuk 10-20 years. So that's that. Pasal the money or the funding has stopped a long time ago, and I think I really don't know the state of the Sungai Batu. From what I gather, it's macam abandoned. I mean, dia nak dirikan or I don't know. Tapi katanya ada some works are still carried on. So I tanya lah macam unashamedly, kenapa tak ada news stories about it? And I think looking back, I feel that I think Prof. Mokhtar and his team were perplexed. Macam tak cukup lagi ke? And true enough, I mean, somewhat after that, bila Channel News Asia keluarkan berita pasal, I don't know, dia tak cakap Sungai Batu if I remember. It's more like Lembah Bujang, which is, dia nak zoom into Hindu, Buddha straight away ke. We don't know, deviousness ke what, but the writer was Malay, so I don't know, based in Singapore or what, but that's that. I was happy to see such coverage and feature in CNA, who would have thought. But I think what remains true is that walaupun pada masa I tanya tu, I rasa macam cerita pasal Sungai Batu ni dah macam not expired, tapi macam diulang. Tapi bila diulang oleh Channel News Asia, it's still fresh, because maybe ada macam kedahagaan di situ, at least for me. But on a professional level, gitu. I mean, kalau kita neutral, I think that although dare me to say, walaupun Prof. Dr. Mokhtar and team dah banyak kali bagi talk and everything, I think yalah dah letih dah banyak share, but for lay person like me, kat mana nak tahu? Mostly what I access pasal Sungai Batu is solely from a few pages. One from admin yang some say kadang-kadang emotional and politically involved. I mean, one can't blame her on that sebab, it involves funding and everything, but whatever it is, those few are what's left, in terms of sumber source untuk tahu. So I would say dengan malunya, dengan merendah dirinya, that I felt topik baru, walaupun di recycle ke apa semua tu, the story tu tak ada. So in terms of kurang publicity ni, orang duk kata konten lah, tapi in a way senang lah nak cakap sebab tak ada konten, so content makers tak buat sangat. Tapi in one way, apa lagi tim Sungai Batu tak bagi? I guess chicken and egg ke, ataupun buatlah. So I think sebab I pun taklah too diligent go through all and every channel yang I don't think there's dedicated kan. It's just a few videos only. Bukan few, banyak tu, entah berjuta, beribu dah. But yelah, satu sebab tak viral ke. Tapi bukankah, I mean, almost everybody in Malaysia dah tahu. So apa kurang publicity dia? Tapi I feel macam tak cukup. I wish that no more. So I don't know lah, maybe this is a personal grievance, tapi I would say that the number one thing pasal Kedah Tua is still about kurang publicity, and related to it maybe kurang kurang content, new, dare me to say, kurang new dig ups, new discoveries, and it's like macam doesn't sound nice, macam I menuduh macam mana lagi. So, and then after I knew that bahwa it related to funding, some administrative punya tu, and it's actually, dalam kebun kelapa sawit, kan? I mean, I've been there once after pergi majlis kahwin AJ Koko dekat Alostar tu. I took the plunge. I tanya-tanya dah sebelum ni. Actually, when I arrived at Alostar, I tanya-tanya. So, I managed to take a bus. There is, I think, nasi lemak royal, something Alostar ke something. So, there was a signage of that kan. So, dekat bus stop tu, I tunggu naik bus, and then bila sampai bus stop, state bus station tu, I took a taxi. I remember sampai satu jambatan tu. Was it jambatan kayu ke jambatan? And a jambatan lah kan. And across it was small or rows of mangrove trees, paya bakau, and suddenly I feel like time slowed. Time slowed, and macam all the green leaves tu macam memanggil, And at that time, the taxi driver was actually regaling me, bercerita tentang the first sultan of Kedah yang masuk Islam. And it feels surreal. Looking back, macam konon macam melambai, macam tergeta. But when I reached that place, it's quite desolate. Macam, how do you call it? Macam, bukan terbiar because it's there managed well. Cumanya, macam padang pasir Sahara. Not like that, sebab ada pokok-pokok. But it's like, macam cowboy out of nowhere. It's macam nowhere. Nak pergi ke situ tu bukan senang. I mean, this is years ago. Check balik, cik kahwin bila. I mean, all the best, berbahagia, happiness selalu untuk keluarga AJ. Because, because of that, I pun dapat pergi ke Sungai Batu. Anyways, yeah, I felt that it was a little bit macam out of reach, nowhere place, macam tu. Tapi the facilitator yang bertugas tu was FUC, welcome, because I datang seorang-seorang macam tu kan, macam orang gila macam tu. It was a he. I mean, there were a few others. Tapi ialah sibuk ke kan. But he usulkan untuk to guide me through lah. I mean, there was yang terdekat lah. I think sebelah kiri tu. And while he was explaining, dia tegur, cik menangis ke? And I just realized tears were flowing out of my eyes, on my cheeks, bercurah-curah. And I said, maybe lah kot. I don't know. And I mean, looking back, maybe betul lah kot, maybe ada keturunan ke, I don't know. I mean, bukan tak tahu, it was actually shared by Persatuan Pencinta Sejarah Kelantan that one of my great ancestral grandmother katanya was a runaway princess yang disembunyikan oleh orang Patani, and she happens to have a bloodline that goes way back kepada Kerajaan Kedah Purba. Quote and unquote, Kedah Purba tu yang mana satu, but people seem to refer everything purba kepada Merung Mahawangsa and his dynasty. So that's that. What I remember pasal the site was pasal ada sekolah tahfiz kecil tepi tu, tepi jalan, tepi site, tepi paya bakar, tepi sungai. So I mean, I saw the bricks, bricks yang kita tak sangka, bukan bricks yang macam yang kita tengok macam dekat Empire Damansara macam tu kan. But this one is like macam ancient, light brownish, macam kelas lah, taste gitu kan. But yeah, nak balik tu, I think I remember asking the taxi driver untuk tunggu kot. Yeah, so I went back. So that's that. And berapa tahun dah tu, and I still feel lah macam I want to hear more and more every day. Kalau boleh every day sampai muak kalau boleh. Tapi tak ada. So my personal feeling, the first point tu kurang publicity. Point kedua is tidak inclusive, not inclusive enough. Point ni ada dua angle ataupun dua sisi. One part kita boleh kata orang tu sendiri, orang-orang itu sendiri don't want to be included in the movement ataupun awareness. Maknanya it's sengaja lah, purposely, sengaja tidak ingin include themselves. Jadi tidak inklusif ni selalunya kita blame bahawa macam tak ada tata kerja ke, that the publicity promotion tu is not enough, which may be true at some point. Tapi kita tak boleh blame bahawa kalau orang tak nak terima, orang adamantly refuse, macam berkeras berdegil, macam lantak lah, I don't give a damn, contohnya kan. What do you do in those cases? Nak paksa, nak cekik, nak suruh macam sampai terjelir lidah, macam mengaku? That's not easy to do. Not that I'm advocating it, tapi kadang-kadang rasa geram pun ada juga. Sebab, macam something so obvious after a long time being macam dituduh atas pokok ataupun immigrants di tanah air sendiri, along those lines. So rasa macam apabila orang macam tak endah, but they can. It's a free and democratic country, so they can. So I mean, because I gather this feeling tu sebab kadang-kadang I stumble upon some comments. Contohnya bila dia orang jumpa the new candi dekat Bukit Coras tu, I think the thing sebab Sahabat Troopers ni kita tak boleh percaya 100% because some, contohnya dalam page Skyscrapers, the admin pointed out that there are Indonesians, cyber troopers yang posed as Indian personnel and then mengutuk Malaysia. Ada je gambar pasal Malaysia punya skyscrapers ke KLCC, dia kutuknya sampai tu. But at the end of the day, one can surmise ini. Some people don't want Indonesian and Malaysia tu as in general untuk bersatu menjadi lebih baik. Because zaman dulu sebelum dipecah-pecahkan oleh Belanda, Inggeris and what not, alam Melayu ni more freer, lebih macam geografinya macam tidaklah terlampau, because saudara mara kan, walaupun sempadan tu masih ada, tapi tidak mengekang, tidak mencekik like it is now. I mean, berani cakap macam tu, but so I feel, this is my personal opinion, that bahawa ada banyak geng-geng ataupun kes yang memang nak menyemarakkan kemarahan antara pihak-pihak. So bila I baca pasal Bukit Coras discovery tu, just a few days after CTAP tu, I feel that diorang cakap, bila diorang cakap, kalau kat Malaysia don't think it will go anywhere. Macam tu lah, macam sebab benda ni Hindu ke Buddha kan, everything it's macam sakit hati lah membacanya kan. But one thing, you have to take a pause, take a step back ke ataupun ke kiri ke kanan to see that you cannot hang on macam siapa yang tulis, because kalau dia cakap dekat avatar tu dia macam non-Malay, Chinese, Indian, you don't really know siapa di belakangnya, but those sentiments were chosen to be apparent untuk dilihat oleh kita. At the end of the day, macam all Malaysians should be proud of this. And then although it is a Malay civilization, it is actually a Malaysian civilization, sebab sampai ke sudah kita tak akan jumpa Indian civilization ke Chinese civilization here, and that's a fact that can never be changed. I don't know kalau ada usaha untuk buat, but I do understand that a lot of, if not some, Klang Valley people, ni tak kira kaum, they feel that they couldn't care less because they can afford to, because they are the ones making history now, which, kind of leave all the, not just Kedahans or Kelantanis for that matter, but in this case specifically Kedah, in the bunduks. Maknanya lantak kau lah, you have the past but we have the future, present and now. One other thing pasal inclusivity ni adalah bila macam ditekankan, they don't ever say it, tapi there's that subtext, that this is Kedah. Macam orang-orang Kedah. Some people who wrote that macam kedegak, I don't know, is that word? Macam very prideful lah, bahawa macam it's Kedah Hans. Tak ada lah sampai macam tu. But kalau kita overgeneralizing, it feels like macam ia adalah macam tamadun Kedah, orang Kedah hebat, macam tu lah. So where does that really put, kaum satu, kaum lain satu, tapi bangsa macam orang-orang lain di Malaysia lah. What about Kelantan yang Professor Dr. Zafarina pun dengan her team from USM, and then subsequently by private enterprise, and then juga macam daripada Oxford, Professor Dr. Oppenheimer, cakap Kelantan people adalah tertua dengan usia DNA 60,000 years old, 60,000 tahun. So, kat mana nak letak orang Kelantan for that matter masa Sungai Batu was thriving, hidup, semua orang Kedah kah? Ia maybe benar ada sedikit bongkak kalau di present it that way, but that's the thing, that's why macam although bila one of the researchers yang behind the Bukit Coras punya revealing tu cakap candi tu candi Buddha, and then penduduk di situ multicultural, it's like it hurts a bit tau. I mean, although it vibes well dengan what is Malaysia, tapi now, I mean, it's okay, but the thing is that kerakyatan, always a touchy issues, and kerakyatan hanya diberi sebabkan ditekan oleh British untuk jus soli after that. So, back then, I mean, the general population of Malay tak ada kuasa to say, yang buat that decision to take it was solely on the first Prime Minister lah, TAR and his administration ataupun team. People actually wanted to wait, contohnya kan. So, to wait it out ataupun negotiate better, sebab there must be stringent issues that must be negotiated first and everything, Contohnya kalau maybe orang Melayu berkorban, bermati-matian untuk preserve the nation, what if warga negara asing yang wants to be warga negara, yang telah menerima berjuta-juta ekar tanah free of charge daripada British dan segala kemudahan yang pilih kasih, discrimination hanya untuk menyakitkan hati orang Melayu for the longest of time, beratus tahun tu, give back some untuk majukan negara, majukan Malaysia. But then if I forward that argument, orang kata apa lagi yang tak cukup kami beri, macam. So that's a issue yang let's not go there. So let's go back to Sungai Batu Kedah. So the inclusivity part tu, it's real, I think. I think that's apparent dekat Klang Valley, where the people here or there, depending on where you are, can choose not to be bothered. They know, but they can afford to do nothing about it because, as I said, they are creating the future, the creating of future Malaysia. Contohnya, they have the power of money, maybe the looks, stature, the social classes, apa semua lah. Ni tak kira kaum lah. People who can afford to not be bothered ataupun just tahu on the surface level and move on like nothing happened. And as I said, dia orang kata, you in the bunduks, you can glorify yourself in the things past and, maybe let you rot in it. That is, orang kata, setinggi-tinggi cercaan lah, yang I coinkan sendiri lah, my personal view. Kadang-kadang terasa begitu, walaupun I ni neither here nor there. Nak cakap I ni Kelantanis ataupun hati dan jiwa tu kat sana, tapi I'm KLian, Selangorian. So, mengundi pun di sini. I don't want to go to politics. But even in Klang Valley, I don't really feel like Klang Valley. Macam bukan menumpang, but then it's like tak ada sejarah, it's good that something like Sungai Batu came out, almost like out of the blue. Walaupun kerja-kerjanya in 2007 and then 2007 ke 2008, I forgot. Tapi it came out to the media in 2015, 2017, some sort like that. Banyak benda yang I sketchy tak tahu. So the kurang inclusivity lah. What happens to orang Kelantan, Kedah, during that time. So, memang they never said that. It's just that the naming. Tapi kadang-kadang kalau tak kena, kalau kita sengaja je nak point out, memang ini Kedah punya sahaja ke? Ini sebenarnya tamadun Melayu. They always, that is the branding. Tapi kadang-kadang kalau tak kena gaya, the inclusivity part tu can be a trap. Itu point nombor 2. Okay, point nombor 3 untuk tajuk ataupun isu ada apa dengan Kedah Tua is, I feel this whole thing, Kedah Tua, Sungai Batu, Archaeological Complex, it's like macam politik, K-drama Seguk, Seguk ni is a genre pasal politik dalam istana antara courtiers, ahli-ahli macam menteri dia apa semua kan. So politik Sungai Batu ni dah jadi macam drama, Korean drama, maybe Chinese drama, tapi Korean drama sadis kan, dengan apa tu, yang monster zombie lah, kingdom tu kan. So I as an observer yang tak tahu nahu, kadang-kadang dengar gosip, baca some people ada kata, is it pertelingkahan ke ataupun TIFF antara new researcher ke ataupun dengan researchers previous administration ke. And then on the larger part, the site itself tu dalam kebun, bukan kebun pisang, kebun kelapa sawit. How do you go about that, sejak bila dia jadi kelapa sawit? And then, it's crazy to think that, I've read some gossip or maybe hearsays kata zaman dulu British and some gangs kan gigih mengebom makam-makam raja-raja lama and things, and they have done it in the shores of Malacca. Katanya everything of any historical significance they bomb habis and everything. So that's why I mean, that was the first impression kan. Dekat Sungai Batu pun there's nothing much left. Tapi yes, benda ni dalam tanah. Pelik kan, dalam tanah tu ada macam relau tu, a few pieces tu 6 kaki, 7 kaki macam tu. Tinggi, besar. So, dalam tanah. So, you can never expect, apa that can be unburied yang akan keluar. Itu satulah. Tapi kita tengok politik ni daripada zaman British, zaman penjajah, musuh-musuh orang Melayu, musuh tanah Melayu, kemudian campur dengan the greedy capitalist, apa semua ni. Ada yang kata developers lah, ataupun, businessmen yang kadang-kadang menghancurkan. This is not just Sungai Batu lah kan. Menghancurkan relics or artifacts because they don't want to deal with it, ataupun memang dia orang ada malice in their heart, macam benci dendam ke. But on one part kita faham bahawa dia orang tak nak termasuk dalam administration, susah kena bagi tanah ke apa semua. And then we don't know. Kalau dalam cerita sometimes drama ke movie, we see orang yang baik ataupun yang pihak yang benar menang. In this cases kerajaan lah, macam agensi museum yang menang lah, sebab mana boleh menghancurkan ataupun defile the artifacts pieces just because you don't want to deal with this matter. So in Kedah ni, I mean, I remember the statement yang Prof. Dr. Mahmud Saidin said that the owner of the lands tu were good in helping out to smooth the process macam tu lah. And then admin yang people say that emotional sangat ke apa ni, we put ourselves in a neutral position, but she was very angry dengan current administration, kata tak banyak tolong. But then I hear the MB office kata first things first, priority duit, nak tolong orang hidup dulu, that sort of thing. Tapi previous administration pun should be kena letak blame jugalah. And then the previous one, 60 tahun kerajaan merdeka, what has been done. But of course, previous administration tu include yang Pak Lah lah, because Pak Lah was the only one. Kalau nak cakap Pak Lah adalah bapa ketamadunan Melayu tu, in retrospect macam layak juga. Although zaman dia tu orang kata, apa ni kerajaan Hadari ni, but then looking back, dia punya foresight tu, Allah dah rancang lah. So God bless him and his family and his foresight, dan juga maybe strategic advisor dia yang, and then cabinet lah kan, yang menuluskan that one of 50 million untuk bantu unearth Sungai Batu. But it's not that tim Sungai Batu and the rest of Malaysian tak membantu, tak buat kerja, promote. Ada at one time tu dekat Parliament, I think recently they made a exhibition. I was not there. I think it was shared that Sungai Batu was there to promote. Tapi I don't know whether there was any significant fund for that. So politik lah. Overall, sebagai orang biasa ni, kita tak tahu what's really happening. Apa itu, apa ini, apa yang pihak universiti ke apa semua. It's so confusing. Kenapa? If it is, really, really important, kenapa tak ada hari memperingati Sungai Batu sebagai tamadun negara, that sort of thing. Tak ada, sampai sekarang tak ada. Festival ke apa kadang-kadang. Tapi Sungai Batu Kedah ni jauh. I mean, ini grumble orang yang jenis tak mengenang budi, tak mengenang jasa lah. So macam bukannya dia orang tak cuba buat, ada yang recently macam festival something yang include makanan orang purba, Kedah purba, which is important, which is content, that is good enough. Tapi at the same time macam I was pointing out, dia macam di mana orang Kelantan pada masa tu? Takkan orang Kedah langsung tak makan budu. Of course, orang Kedah sekarang tak makan budu, but we cannot overgeneralize. There might be some. Because yang peliknya, I recently discovered that people have always thought that glutamate, yang dalam MSG itu kan, is like the the only reason untuk rasa umami, yang the fifth taste tu contohnya. Tapi I've read a piece yang kata scientists point out that the reason behind umami taste is iron. Iron is so synonym dengan Kedah, Sungai Batu. But apa kenanya dengan Kelantanis budu? Kalau orang Kelantan ni dah 60,000 tahun, and among all the fish sources in the world, hampir semua dah evolve kepada menjadi clear, menjadi watery. Tapi Kelantan punya budu ni sampai kesudah, dia tak nak cerakinkan filter, it stays there. And I think sebab dengan warna dia, dengan kemerahan apa semua tu kan, it's because of the iron. So sifat orang Melayu ni, dia tak cengar ataupun dia tidaklah macam repulsive dengan benda-benda yang ada iron. Sedap satu, and because they have grown with it. So I think untuk Kedah Sungai Batu go up ni, the politic side of it, I don't know. Sebab politik ni is on so many level. I dare to guess, bukan politik kat sekolah, bilik darjah, kampung, sesama teman, sesama kaum, sesama negeri, sesama negara, sesama jiran, semua tu politik. So I think something needs solving lah. Cik gitu sebagai orang luar lah, because all this conundrum kan, bukan diorang tak buat kerja, ada semua. That's the thing, tak buat kerja tu is just such a simplistic throw, comment, javelin throw to these people. So I guess we want to know every bit and pieces of what's happening, and doa lah segala semuanya terungkai. So that's it. 3 poin untuk ada apa dengan Kedah Tua. Kurang publicity, tidak inklusif, dan macam politik K-drama say good. Okay, ways forward. Okay, from a novice point of view, I pun baru nak berjinak-jinak balik, baru berjinak-jinak nak start, jadi content maker, but I don't think I am near that. So ways forward is like menyeru lah, that everyone is responsible for Sungai Batu Kedah Tua civilization. It's a Malay civilization, it's a Malaysian civilization. Every influencer ke ataupun every admin ke agency tu have to put in their share ataupun worth of contribution to make it happen. Kalau boleh nak every day ada cerita ni, every influencer buat. Tapi bukannya influencer tidak dipanggil, tapi it depends juga dipanggil untuk apa. Contohnya bahagian USM ada panggil, tapi USM yang panggil tim tu katanya tim yang menyokong everything starts at 2 AD. Padahal yang Prof. Mokhtar Saidin avenge for 788 contohnya. So that's the first point. Second point is to stress bahawa this is a Malaysian civilization. This is Malays, thus it is a Malaysian civilization. Nak cari civilization orang lain, tak ada lah. Sampai ke kiamat tak ada. So that's a fact that yang kena terima lah. I mean, I know that you guys nak membina tamadun tomorrow, hari ini, tapi it doesn't mean it gives permission untuk memandang rendah ataupun langsung cancel what's in the past. So the third one is about dana lah, funding. Sometimes, when it involves certain parties. So I remember pasal an editor of a paper news portal, sekejap je 200k or 500k, something like that kan. The power of Klang Valley ataupun people who submit to that cause ataupun that person. Benda-benda lain, susah. Tak boleh lah nak cakap pasal Gaza ke Palestin sebab it is urgent and it is needed. Tapi not one of or a few people in the know ataupun ustaz yang pointed out that 30% take for administration or governance punya cut tu, it's a bit too much. So I think dana ni is a big issue, and I think that it's great to support the cause, either terus kepada dana unit yang di-approve oleh Profesor Dr. Mokhtar Saidin ataupun support the causes around him macam Kedah ecotourism ke, that sort of thing. Tapi we wish for more lah support kan, governmental lah, agency. So tak boleh tidak, there needs to be money. And I've pointed out carelessly bahawa the corporates are not helping. But I also know at the same time corporate ni duit lah, greedy grabbers kan. Tapi kalau they can help causes macam zoo ke, wildlife lah, ataupun miskin hide ke, why not Sungai Batu, maybe a part of it, a unit of it, that sort of thing. So that's that. Ways forward tu, number 1 tu, everyone is responsible, so be responsible. Nombor 2, this is a Malay's civilization, thus it is also a Malaysian civilization. Ketiga adalah pentingnya dana funding to collect it or reroute it, managing it in more effective way strategically is important untuk kelestarian Sungai Batu. That's all. Thank you for listening.